everyone, and welcome to issue 5. Ajax, 5 issues deep. We're 5 months into this of Dive Into the Longbox podcast. I am Gabe here, as I said, with my trusty right-handed Canadian compadre, Ajax.
Gabe, if we're 5 issues deep, does that mean we're 5 guys deep as well?
Jesus Christ. Connecting podcasts.
That one was for Sinide.
Yes, and if you guys like Sinide, you're definitely going to want to check out the previous issue, issue 4, where we all reviewed Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was uploaded onto Patreon, the complete episode, that, and the one-shot me and Ajax recorded after. That was basically just another podcast episode that went on for like 40-something minutes. That was a long
really
one-shot.
Yeah, we didn't condense ourselves at all.
we just went hog wild on that. But we are back today, issue 5. It's been quite a bit. We are recording this end of July. This is post my Florida trip. So there was one thing I got in Florida. I couldn't go to Florida and not get something having to do with a comic book. And I thought, what better place to get it than in Universal at the Marvel area? Surprisingly, they had no books that I wanted whatsoever. I went there. It was all random issues from different comic book series from like years ago. And I'm like, I don't want it. There was no new things. There's no classic books. There was one thing I really wanted, and it was a Venom and Carnage book from the 90s. But it was like $130. It contained like 20-something issues in there.
Was it Separation Anxiety?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I would have to take a look at the picture of it again. It might have been, but I'm not too sure, so I can't say for certain. But it was expensive. And then they had like a Hulk collection of like classic Hulk books. Again, it was like $90, and I was like, I don't want to pay $90. I just want something quick. So I saw the only thing that I could get there that I really wanted, like even the covers, they weren't like variant Disney or variant Universal exclusive covers. If they were, I would have been like, hell yeah, give me every single one of these books. I would have walked out with one of each. But they're not. So I scooped up this random book. I haven't even read it yet. I don't even think I'm gonna. I just got it just to get it. It got a little banged up on the ride back from Florida. It was kind of hell getting back, so it's a little fucked up, but whatever. It's just this random Spider-Man book. I just thought the cover would look cool, and it's thick as hell. It's got like a bunch of different issues in there. I'm not really big on.
Looks very modern.
Yeah, I'm not big on a lot of modern Spider-Man stuff. Because it's just too depressing. He's just not a. He doesn't have a happy life, and I'm not. I don't know. I don't want to see Peter sad and have a horrible life, and that's what they love to write. So I'm not down with that.
It's not just that, Gabe. It's also the insistence of not letting Peter grow up beyond being a teenager.
Yes.
Like he can't be an adult.
And even when he gets a chance to, they take it away from him. He doesn't even have MJ anymore. She's with some other dude now, who no one likes. The only saving grace about those books is John Romita Jr. Art, which I just found something out today, buddy, that I don't know if you want to hear about. But you know, I've been reading Excellent. You know, this was the this was the big concluding issue. It's done after this. Issue 5, I read it, but then I finished it, and I looked at the back of the book, and to my surprise, in September 2023, Daredevil #1, Born Again, a new series, drawn, look at the cover by John Romita Jr., doing Daredevil covers again. Dude, it's 2023, and John Romita Jr. is doing Spider-Man and Daredevil covers. I love it. So let's hope the story's good, because I'm definitely going to be checking out Daredevil #1. Usually I don't talk about stuff coming up to not date the podcast, but I want to pick this up, and I'm hoping it's good because I fucking love Daredevil. So I'm hoping it's good. I couldn't really get into Devil's Reign, most because I was already too deep. It was too deep into it when I found out. So yeah, but
was that the Zdarsky run?
I believe it is. That's the one where. I don't even really know the story behind it. It's what's her name as Daredevil. She has like the thing over her face. I don't know if it's Elektra or not. I don't really know the story. I could be completely wrong. I just know it's a female Daredevil, and I know Daredevil's in it, but he has like a beard and shit. I haven't read a single word on any page of that, so I have no idea what it's about. It just didn't catch my attention personally. But
Zdarsky did a really good Spider-Man that I read.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a good writer, Zdarsky.
Yeah, this just says Saladin Ahmed and Aaron Cooter. I don't
Not
know
familiar with either of
some.
those names.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited, man. Very, very excited. Anything you've been reading recently?
I did read I'm trying to remember the name. Is it Wonder Woman Dead Earth
Oh,
or
have you? Oh,
something
wait.
along those lines? It was made by the guy who did Do a Power Bomb, Daniel Warren
Oh, really?
Johnson. Yeah,
Is this
same guy.
something? Is this older or newer?
Newer. So this would have been 2 or 3 years ago when they started doing the
Really?
Black Label books.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
this is like a Wonder Woman book under the Black Label
Oh.
imprint.
Is it any good?
Yeah, so it's basically like Wonder Woman wakes up like in a post-apocalyptic DC world where like all the superheroes are dead besides her,
Oh?
and she kind of has to like put the pieces together.
Oh, I kind of like that. That sounds cool.
Yeah,
Oh, shit. What's it called again?
I think it's called Dead Earth. Or
Dead Earth.
so yeah, it's
Because
Wonder Woman Dead Earth.
I
Or
heard Dead something. I was like, man, is that the new horror series going on with DC? I'm hearing so many mixed reviews about that. Some people say it's way better than they thought. Some people hate it. I'm like,
I haven't read
I
it.
love
Yeah,
horror, but I'm like unsure. I never really got onto like, because it did like a recent Hulk series that was like horror themed. It was kind of like a horror movie, but Hulk. And I was like, that sounds cool, but I don't know if I'd get like into it. I don't know.
the, I think you can do a horror book with Hulk as the
Yeah,
premise of it. I think
and
that works.
allegedly it's really good. It's really good supposedly, but it's always like I don't know. I was always a type of person like if I'm reading a Hulk book or like a superhero book, I want my superhero story, and if I want to read a horror book, I'll go find a horror book. That's just me personally. Um,
That's
I
fair.
have,
Yeah, that's
or if
completely
there's
fair.
like a horror storyline, that'd be cool, but like revolving around it, I'm still a little. I'm still dipping the toes in. I'm still unsure how I feel.
I just want to confirm. Yeah, it's called Wonder Woman Dead Earth.
Okay.
That's the name of the book. Yeah, if anyone wants to read it, it's a good read. It's probably I would say it's probably the best Black Label book that they've released so far.
Oh, really?
It's that good, yeah.
Wow.
Pretty damn good.
I got a weird cover the other day. I was from DC. It was for Green Arrow. I think number 3. And like they were out of the regular cover, so I was like, I'll get the variant one. And it's like Green Arrow shooting in his arrow, and like Black Canary singing, but they made Black Canary like thick as hell on the cover. And she has like an anime face. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I had to buy it. I'll try to find it after. I have it in my long box now, but like, geez, I was like, what the hell is this? It was just so weird. I was like, I gotta get this cover.
I think might have been Dark Knight Strikes Again. Frank Miller draws her on the cover, and it's like the ugliest drawing of Black Canary I've ever seen. Just so disgusting to look at.
Well, talking about Frank Miller and covers, I did get something in the mail. I started reading it on the trip. I did not get far into it at all. I got through maybe the first issue that's a part of this. Loved it. I watched the movies, but never read the books. So I started reading Frank Miller's A Dame to Kill For. And look at that beautiful cover. A nice curvaceous lady with the with the lights hitting her. And I gotta say, like, his anatomy in this is really well done. He draws women really well in this book. Granted, a lot
In
of
Sin
times they
City,
show
he
their
does.
faces, and their faces through 80% of it are like shadowed out, but
Hmm.
because like their hair like covers their faces. But at this time, man, it was beautiful. His
For
Sin
some
City art is
reason,
unmatched.
when he draws women in like DC comics, it just always looks strange,
Yeah.
odd. I don't know what it is.
I also noticed something on the back here. Usually it says like $15, $20 for like Canada. It literally says $15 US, 21
21
bucks.
bucks Canada.
Like written out. I just thought that was hilarious. So
Of
yeah,
course, $6 markup for us.
I I know, right? So I got this, and then I also got regular Sin City as well because it hit me. I was like, I've never read Sin City. I've watched the movie so many times, but I never read Sin City because like my dad had them. Don't know what happened to them. My brother read them digitally when
Right.
that was like just starting, and then so I never read really any Sin Cities. My uncle dude, he has all the graphic novels like lined up. He's got his figures from like the comic all like displayed. He is all in on Sin City, but so it's my first time experiencing Sin City. So, and the other version of Sin City I got is cool because it's not this big. This is the size of like a regular comic book or graphic novel you get. The other one's the size of like a Blu-ray DVD because it comes in that DVD set. But it's a full-size graphic novel. It's so weird. So it is a little smaller than this, but I just thought that was so obscure.
I know that Dark Horse is
size.
collecting Sin City and those oversized like hardcover books.
Oh, are they?
Kind of in the same vein as they're doing for Berserk, if you've ever seen those.
Yeah.
Kind of like in that same type of mold.
Oh, wow. Damn, those are big too.
They're big, yeah, but they look really nice on the shelf.
I know DC just did like a big collect, or they're doing a bunch of like collections of like different books. Dude, they're selling this giant collection. It's like this thick of Batman and Superman, but it's the Ed McGuinness Batman and Superman from the 2000s, where they're all like big. They look like action figures. It's my favorite. Right. It's my favorite. I've told you multiple times. It's my favorite series ever. Because that's what my dad would buy me when we would go to Borders and Barnes & Noble. Like, that would be what he'd get me. We'd walk out with a book for him, a book for my mom, and an issue of Batman and Superman for me.
A book for your mom, not a comic book.
No. A book for my mom, a book for my dad, but a comic book for me. And he'd get me a couple comics because they were only like $2 at the time, if even they're like $1.99. He'd get me like that. He'd get me some Dark Horse Star Wars stuff that was out at the time. Just some cool shit. Like, he would always hook me up with stuff. So, yeah, it holds a special place in my heart.
If your mom like those did Dark Horse comic Star books, Gabe, what would she read? What do you think she would read?
Probably like Archie.
You think so?
Yeah, my Nana loves Archie. She loves Archie, dude. She collected Archie comics for a while. Yeah, for a long time. She would like go to the store and like stock up on Archie books. And I remember Justine wanted to get into comic books, but she doesn't know where to start. So I bought her this because she likes Animal Crossing. And Free Comic Book Day had an Animal Crossing book. So I got it.
Perfect.
But then when we open it, it's made by a Japanese company. So it's in English, but it reads like a manga. So it's backwards.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like trying to explain to her how to read a manga, and she was like, and I was like, fuck, this is bad. This is a bad way to start. So I was
bad
like,
first impression, yeah.
And I was like, you like Archie stuff, like you like the TV show and then hated it. It's not like the show, but it's funny and it's cartoony. And I was like, maybe you'll like Archie, and she was kind of like iffy about it. So still trying to find a book she would like. I was like, maybe if there's some romance books out there we can find, because she loves romance books. If there's some romance comics out there, maybe she'll read those.
I could definitely think of something.
Yeah. Because I think
you're away probably,
and she loves like comic book movies. She's just like her favorite superhero is Spider-Man. But I'm like, where would I have you start with Spider-Man? Because then like, there's so many good Spider-Man stories. But I also don't want you to read the new stuff because it's not the same. I'd probably have her start with like Ultimate Spider-Man probably.
I was gonna say Ultimate Spider-Man because it's not very dialogue heavy.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I think that'd be the best bet because then like anything else is just like. For the diehards, like the '90s Spider, like any other like Todd McFarlane Spider-Man, I don't think she'll like that at all.
No, that was definitely a moment in time.
Yeah, you had to be there. Speaking of, I did get a comic book calendar, Ajax recently that has different comic book artists from like Jack Kirby to like just all the heavy hitters. But dude, it has Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man just chilling in there. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's all like these like classic Marvel artists, and then boom, Todd McFarlane Spider-Man. And I was like, what the fuck? This is awesome.
It makes me wonder when it was made.
It's new. It's a calendar for 2023, 2024.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's why it blew my mind. I thought they would take like classic Spider-Man, of him putting like the suit in the trash can era, that era of Spider-Man, but nope, Todd McFarlane. I was like, that's cool with me. I'm not gonna complain. Anything else you've been reading?
Interesting.
I only had a couple more.
I haven't been reading a whole lot, truthfully. I've only been reading some stuff here and there.
So with me,
That was really good.
I have been reading, but it's kind of taken a halt because I got really sick, so I couldn't even for a while I couldn't even get out of bed, So I
Yeah.
missed like 3 weeks of getting books, so I was really behind. But I still needed to scratch that itch. So that's why I was like buying all the Sin Cities, because then the package would come in, I wouldn't have to go out. I just lay in my bed dying and like hold my Sin City books. Like I couldn't even read because I was just so tired all the time. So the past week has just been me reading and just like catching up on like 3 weeks of stuff. I'm finally caught up. And one
Right.
of the last 3 things I've been reading, I'll get this one out the way because it's nothing crazy, but I like it. Dawn of DC's Titans. Dawn of DC, I will say it until it ends. The greatest iteration of DC stuff since New 52. Titans is really good. It's the classic Titans team, but they're just all grown up now.
Right.
They got everybody. Wally, they got everybody. So the story's good. It has to do with it's like a detective kind of book where, long story short, like Wally gets shot, and like you have to figure out who killed Wally, but then you figure out the Wally that was shot is one from the future. So now like Wally and the crew have to solve his own future death kind of thing.
Can't be any worse than Wally dying by a girl with a hammer.
Well, dude, I'm reading the book and my brother's looking over my shoulder and he sees Wally shot and he goes, "Why are they always killing Wally West?"
Honestly.
He stays fucking dying. So then I was like, dude, they kill him again in the next issue. He shows up and he's like, that's me. And they're like, yeah, we got to figure out what the hell this is about. And then like they find out like, oh, he came here. Wally's like, oh, if it was me that got shot, I would have came back from the future to tell me what happened. And then he like clicks like, oh wait, that's why he's here, so we can figure it out. But yeah, it's a good story. It has to do with like, dude, the main focus of all these books recently has been Peacemaker. There's something going on with Peacemaker, and it's combining these books. I don't know what it is.
Really?
But he's shown up in Titans. He's shown up in, I believe it was Green Arrow. It's hard to remember off the top of my head. I think it was Green Arrow he showed up. But he's become like a main focus, and he has a woman with him too. What is her? I think it's Peacebringer or Peace. Let me look it up real quick.
So
'Cause now
DC's trying to elevate him ever since the TV show took off.
Oh yeah,
So that's what I'm getting from it.
her name is Peacekeeper. It's just a female. Wait, I'm just double checking here. I'm looking Peacemaker 52. Oh wait. Usually I have this stuff ready, but now this is stuck in my head. Peace Wrecker. There we go. Peacemaker and Peace Wrecker. It's just a female Peacemaker. She dresses the same. She's more serious because Peacemaker still has like that. He has like that John Cena sense of humor.
Right.
And like
Right,
he has a shoot off with Green Arrow, and he's like, "I'll let you live if you can outshoot me." And Green Arrow's like, "Are you fucking serious?" And Peacemaker's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Listen, if I hit the bullseye, Peacemaker gets to kill you, and if you hit the bullseye, you can interview this guy, and we'll walk away from you." And he throws the helmet in the air. You see the bullet and the arrow going, and the next scene is Green Arrow interviewing the guy, and Peacemaker has the helmet. He hit the helmet in the eye, and Green Arrow got it dead center. It was so cool. And she was like, "Are you fucking serious? Like, you wanted to do a shooting contest?" He's like, "What? I thought I had him." But there's something going on. He's like crossing over books and stuff, so I'm very intrigued by that. Very, very intrigued. The last 2 things too I was reading, I had to pick this up in this variant cover. Ultimate Invasion has begun, and your boy had to get the Ultimate X-Men variant cover. Shit looks super clean. Love it. Wolverine with the little goatee.
New Metal Wolverine.
Yeah. Not in the book. They are not in the book. At least not
that's
yet.
False advertising.
At least not yet. They did do a bunch of variant covers of classic Ultimate characters, and this just so happened to be the X-Men one. So I was like, okay. So it's odd so far. I'm into it. I read the second one. I don't know what's going on anymore. But it's also one of those things I need to read on to figure it out. So it's not like I'm confused and don't want to read, if that makes sense. Like I'm intrigued to see what happens next. I want to understand. But like so far, it's like he's trying to. I forgot his name. I think it's the Maker. It's like that Reed Richards with the helmet.
Yeah.
From the Ultimate books.
Yeah.
He's trying to like create the Ultimate Universe again, and he found a way to. I guess that this has been building for like a decade. He's been like, there's been bits and pieces that have built to this that I have not followed, because you have to read like every series ever to understand it. There is some YouTube videos though that explain it, which is pretty cool.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he like creates it, but like shit's all fucked up now because he's like fucking with the universe and making his own world. He like made his own Earth and everything. Like in this Earth, Iron Man is Howard Stark. He's still alive, but he's Iron Man, and Tony's still alive. He's just like his son that's just there. But Howard Stark's like Tony Stark's age. He's still pretty young. But
Oh, that's interesting.
he flies around in the Ultimate suit, the red and silver one with that weird looking helmet. So it's
That's
like,
kind of like in DC where there's a universe where Thomas Wayne is actually Batman.
yeah, that's what this is. So like there's ripple effects of him fucking with the universe and trying to recreate a new one. So it's like I'm intrigued to see what's going on with it. That's why when I read it, I was like, what is happening? So I'm intrigued so far though. I like it. I want to see how it goes on. I believe it's only a couple issues. There's not a lot of issues.
I'll have to give it a
before it's
read
over.
because the last Marvel event I read was Extreme Venomverse.
Okay.
I thought it was fun for what it was. Like it wasn't great, but I thought
Yeah.
it was fun for what it was because it was basically just like, well, let's create a bunch of Venom clones and have fun
Yeah.
with it.
And they're saying this is gonna have like a mark. Like this is like the beginning of something new. So like this is gonna have everlasting effects on future books. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if this is like the reset point or what's going on, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Especially now that they're like totally nixing the Kamala Khan thing, where they had the big deal about her dying, they had the issue about her, like everyone mourning her death, and then they're in that issue they're advertising the next one where they're like, she's back as an X-Men, and it's like, what?
You know,
What?
which is a shame. Which is a shame because I think she fits in perfectly with the X-Men.
Yeah, but I was like,
What I don't understand is why would you kill her and then put her in the X-Men?
exactly, and I'm like, I thought her death was actually like something that I was like, okay, this might mean something because people like the character. Like no one really shits on Kamala Khan. People like Ms. Marvel. Her books were doing good, so it's like it's not like a
Yeah.
character people are like, oh, thank God she died. But so it had meaning. It was like when they killed. This is a stretch, but like when they killed Superman at first was like, whoa. It was kind of like a big deal. This could have
It
been
was a
their
big
big
deal.
deal. This could have been their big deal because people were. It was the talk of the town on Twitter. Like everyone was sorry on X. It was the talk of the town. Everyone was. There was
On
articles,
X.
dude. Like articles were from like Forbes were talking about it. Like this was like a huge thing, and like this is record time. Like they brought her back, advertising it in the book they were mourning her death. Like what the fuck?
But this is such a comic book thing to do where it's like a bait and switch, right? It's like you
Yeah.
kill off a character and then like a month later you bring them back in the next issue.
And like usually they give them some time to like settle. Dude, they were just in the same issue. They're like, yeah, she's already back. Like, don't even at that point. It's like, all right, why am I gonna keep reading this then? Like, there's no point. It's
Yeah,
just
because
filler.
there's no consequences, there's no meaning, there's no anything to it.
Yeah. Well, the last thing that has a lot of meaning, and I've loved this book for many times for for over a year now, for many moons. Red Room. I'm now in the 3rd season, Red Room Crypto Killers. Read number 1, and about 20 minutes ago, I read number 2 and 3. So I am caught up on Red Room Crypto Killers.
I've yet to read it, but I do like Ed's work quite a bit.
This book is art. It is like what's that meme of Homelander? It's perfect down to every little detail. Like this book, it gives you your horror fix. It has a story. Somehow he makes it where each issue is its own thing and also combining with other books. So it's like if you were to pick up issue number 3 and just start reading it, you wouldn't feel lost. But if you read issues 1 and 2 and 3, you feel rewarded because you know kind of the universe and what's going on.
Right.
But if you get it alone, it's not like you're lost. Like, which is pretty. I think is I don't know how he does it, but it's great. I love it. So Red Room, a high recommend. It's about people dying, man. Like there's really no heavy thing. Well, there's a heavy story, but there's really no heavy thing about it. It's about people dying in Red Room. So Um, yeah, if you like visual horror, definitely check it out. Definitely a book to read.
I love horror. My skepticism with Red Room is that on the surface it just looks like a book to kill people.
That's what
On
I
the
thought.
surface.
That's what I thought too. I thought it was just like one of those going to be like a shock horror book, which is what I was nervous about. Like especially with that first cover where the dude's like body's getting ripped apart. But then you read it, and then there's stories to it. Like they're like no spoiler, but like there's like characters that like have families and stuff, and they
Right.
show you their life, and then they cut to them at night, and they're like putting on the costumes to go kill people, and it's like what? And it's just like a, and then they go back home to like kiss their daughters goodnight and stuff. It's like very like dark, and there's a story
Mm.
behind it. Like they're doing it for financial reasons, like whether it's taking care of their family or looking for wealth or they're just bloodthirsty. Like there's different reasons for why they're killing people, and every character's different. And like what they do does have effects that expand past them to like their family members and stuff. Like one girl gets like bullied because her dad got like exposed for it. It's like it's really good. It's a really good
The
book.
way you describe it reminds me so much of Manhunt, the video
Mm-hmm.
game that Rockstar made,
Yep.
where you have a criminal who's doing deeds for other people because he wants to get out of jail.
Yep.
You know, he's already a serial killer. He's already a bad guy, but now
Mm-hmm.
he's continuing, to be a serial killer in order to get something out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how the characters are in that book. Like they're like, and they establish though, so you don't feel remorse for them. Like they're kind of messed up people. Like one of the guys, like he would watch Red Rooms and he'd be like, "Oh, this is crazy. Like I wouldn't do it, but like yeah, this is awesome." But then like they capture him and they're like, "No, you're going to start doing it." And he has like a huge like internal conundrum of like this is not moral, but they're paying me a lot of Bitcoin for this, so
Right.
and I got a family to feed and stuff. I just lost my job. I got to do what I got to do, and yeah, it's very interesting. It's a very good book. And there's like different. He calls them seasons. Each time he does a series of 4 issues, it's a season. So like if you
Okay.
it's very rewarding too. Like I'm getting this is the final one. This is like the series is ending. And oh no, it's the feds. They heard Red Room. Run, run, run. I'm keeping that in. I'm keeping that in. Oh no, they got us. They found us. Cut the feed. Cut the feed. Keep your finger off the switch, done. Oh my god, that's funny.
Oh no, they're banging again.
They're coming for you, buddy. Oh man, but yeah. Hey, and if you're listening to this by this point, Ajax, as you know, I make comic books myself. If you're listening to this,
That you do.
yes, I by this point, by the time this releases, my second book, Dark Carnival, will be available on Etsy for the low price of like 99 cents. So look out for that. I'm lowering the price of my first book, The Hunt 2, to 99 cents. So you guys get full books. This one's in full color. It's got more pages, and it's a group book. This is like my this was as a child. This was my X-Men. This book was written and mostly designed when I was a child. So I took that story, redrew it, only changed some things, and put it out there. So if it sucks, it was written by an elementary school kid. And you'll see some. I got some cool little references in there. A lot of guys are based off of other characters I loved growing up, both not only in comic books but pro wrestling. That you will see in that. So, especially my main character Chum, based off of Shark Boy from TNA. Actually, when I was a kid, I drew him with the Shark Boy mask, with like the smile and everything. Which I definitely couldn't do now. That would be cease and desist if that was to ever be sold.
On site.
On site. It's on site. Wait, Dex, you know what else is on site? Our creativity. I didn't know how to branch that into this.
Good segue.
But I had a question for us last time, and I was like, we started talking about like characters we loved and like how we would write them. So I thought, what would be some characters that we would love if Marvel or DC or Image, Vertigo anybody came up, Dark Horse, and were like, create a story for blank character that would get you excited, like, holy fuck, I need to write for this person. What are some characters that you would love to write for if you had the chance to?
I'd love to do a Squadron Supreme book
That would be
because
so
I feel
sick.
like those guys don't get enough love, in my opinion.
They had probably my favorite story recently, the one I always talk about, Heroes Reborn, and then since then they just were put on the back burner. I don't know what the hell's going on. I thought they were great in that. I thought that would have been a great launching point for their own series, but I highly agree. That would be a lot of fun to do a Squadron Supreme story. I love group books, like
Me
writing
too.
about a group. That's why on my list I had X-Men. I'd love to write for an X-Men story because I can't deal with the current X-Men. I don't like it. I don't like where it is. So I would love to write an X-Men story, kind of like the old school X-Men.
I would
That
certainly
Claremont.
love to write X-Men, but I would love to write Alpha Flight even more.
Oh,
Because
that would be great.
as a Canadian, like that speaks to me more.
Another
'cause it's
group,
a team of all Canadians.
and they get no love.
Yeah, but I'm very glad that they are actually getting a series coming up very soon.
Yes. Is it live action?
No, it's a comic book.
Oh, I think you meant like a TV series. I was like, wait, what?
No, like a new comic book series. Yeah.
Oh, they are? Okay, I didn't know that. Shit. I'm
I think
definitely going to check that
it's
out.
later this year or maybe beginning of next year. I don't remember,
Damn.
but it was announced last month, from what I remember.
Holy shit. Definitely got to check that out. Man, my dad was a big Alpha Flight guy. He loved
Yeah.
Alpha Flight. He liked them. He liked them more than the X-Men, I believe, if I'm correct. But he loved Alpha Flight so much. He had, dude. I probably have some in the bin. We'll go through it with him one day. But I think there's some Alpha Flights in there. If not, there used to be before the move, before some were lost. But there used to be a ton of Alpha Flights in there.
I just love the Canadian representation
Mm-hmm.
because there isn't a whole lot of Canadian representation in comic books. I feel.
Yeah. Honestly, I think there should be more too. Like, what do you guys have now? I don't really. There's not a lot. Like Wolverine.
Oh, Wolverine is always going to be the mascot for a Canadian comic book character.
He's Canadian but presented Southern.
Which is so strange, but I guess if you've ever been to Alberta or you know what Alberta is like, you're kind of like if you put Texas right in the middle of Canada,
Yeah.
it's kind of Alberta.
Huh. I would have never thunk that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, speaking of the South, another character I'd love to write for is my favorite comic book character of all time, Gambit. I'd love to write a Gambit story so much.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the main guy in Dark Carnival, you guys will heavily see immediately. He is heavily inspired by Gambit. Yeah, and that was on purpose because I loved Gambit and I wanted my own Gambit. I wanted my own, so I created my own. But his name is Remy LeBeau. As a kid, I was like, all right, I can't use that. So this guy's hero's name is Levitation, so they call him Levy because it sounds like Remy. See, I was a clever child.
Solo character wise, I would have to go with Spider-Man because he's my all-time favorite.
Mm-hmm. Spider-Man would be a lot of fun. I would want to keep it very grounded, like very grounded in New York only. Like I want to make sure it's like a friendly. If I was to write it, like a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Because I think that's my problem with the movies too. He just blew up to like this fighting aliens character, and I was like, that's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man's like the guy where a kid's getting bullied and he stops it. You know what I mean? Like that's Spider-Man helping people out.
Yeah, I think a great representation of that is Spider-Man 2 the game, where you just get to do like a lot of stuff where like a kid loses a balloon, so you have to go get the balloon and you
Yep.
give
Or
it
there's
back
like
to the
there's
kid.
like a robbery at a bank. You have to go stop it. Or no, it's like a mom and pop shop. They're like robbing it at gunpoint, and you have to stop it. Yeah.
Then of course the best one, you gotta deliver the pizzas.
Yes. That's the best.
But just stuff like everyday simple stuff like that is what makes Spider-Man so endearing.
Well, I will say someone posted a panel from, I think it's a recent one. I'm not too sure. I haven't read a lot of his books from a Miles Morales book. It was all over Twitter. Someone's posting about it, and they're like, yeah, this is what Spider-Man is. And it was just him. This kid was getting bullied because of how he dressed.
Mhm.
and Spider-Man told him like, "Hey, tell them that if anyone messes with you, Spider-Man will find them." And he's like, "They're not gonna believe me." And he looks at the kid and he goes, "Are you scared of heights?" And he goes, "No." And the next scene is them webbing around New York, and he's videoing them flying around. And he's like, "Hey, if you mess with my boy or whatever, I'm gonna come get you. Leave him alone." And the kid's smiling and stuff. So I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Like that's Spider-Man. Backing up the little kid who's getting bullied. Like that's cool to me. I like that."
Yeah, that's a clever way to do Spider-Man, especially now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. Um, I think something I would love to write. It's another wholesome character, and I think is finally getting his justice in his recent series. So I don't think I would be able to do writing justice, but Superman. I'd love to write for Superman. I think Superman has a lot more weaknesses than people know, and I think writing that would be a lot of fun. And I think the recent series kind of covered all of them, so I was like, fuck. If I write a book, it'll just be like rehashing this one because this one's just so damn good. But I would love to write for Superman.
I would love to get Rob Liefeld on the phone and be like, "Hey man, can I write Supreme?"
Dude, you are made to write Supreme and do it justice.
Rob's like, "Yeah, man, like
He's
as
like, but I
long as
gotta
like."
draw.
I'm like, "You know what, Rob? Why don't you just stay in the back? You'll collect the royalties off the back, and I'll figure this out by myself. It's all good. It's all
I
good."
will say, man, I would love to see the Image universe get its due live action, or like, if not even live
Yeah, me
action,
too.
do it like Invincible. Imagine a Supreme show that's like Invincible. I think that would
I
be a
think
lot of
that
fun.
Yeah, I think that'd be great, especially if you take what was essentially like the Alan Moore
Mm-hmm.
representation of Supreme, the
Yep.
story of the year arc.
Yep.
If you did that in an animated series, I think people would really like it.
And I think like even doing like so they're not like it's kind of like what they do with Star Wars, where it's like one year you get a season of Supreme, next year you can get like a season of like I don't know another Image title, Youngblood or whatever. You know what I mean? You get like a season of that, and then next season after that you get like a side story for someone. You know what I mean? So like it changes it up, but it
Yeah,
also you can build like a. I would love to see Image build their universe, whether it be live action or um animated. I just think they deserve it. They have so many characters that I think they could do that are really cool. Like Savage Dragon, I'd love to see that. Spawn, like come on. Uh, I think it'd be really cool to see all that.
the the Spawn movie that's been in development for like 5 years.
I saw
Fuck
you.
you, Todd.
I think you posted something about that on Facebook. Someone like it was like one of those news things. They're like Spawn in production, or it's like it's being written, and you're like, I've heard this for like 6 years now. I'll believe it when I see it.
Todd's like, we got Jeremy Renner. It's like, that's great. You've got nothing else of substance. But we got Jamie Foxx. That's fantastic, but we still don't
Yeah,
have like a trailer.
yeah. Jamie Foxx would be a really good Spawn. I would enjoy him as Spawn.
Yeah, he would. He
I would
would be.
enjoy him. He would play it really well too. He's a really good actor. I
He
think
is a really good
he's an
actor.
underrated actor. That'd be a good lead role for him because he could play emotion really well. And seeing him like having to deal with his wife, finding love somewhere else, and all that, you know what I mean? I think that'd be kind of
I've
cool to
always
see.
seen him as a comedy actor, but he can pull off serious roles.
Mm-hmm. I think that'd be a really good choice. Man, now I really want this movie to happen, and I want it to be good because I'm just like thinking about it.
You know, what's a shame is that we'll never get the Image quote unquote universe because all of the creators own
Own
their
those characters.
IPs,
Yeah.
which is great. It's fantastic, but it makes it really hard to do a movie
Mm-hmm.
with everyone involved because everyone's like, well, you can't make my guy look like a bitch.
Well, that's why we didn't get Chapel in the Spawn movie. They had to change his background of
Yeah,
how who killed him, or
yeah,
yeah, who killed him, yeah. So I was
yeah.
like, fuck,
So
man.
so Rob created Chapel, Rob Liefeld.
Mm-hmm.
Chapel in canon is the one who killed Al Simmons, aka Spawn.
Yeah.
When Rob left Image, that kind of put them in a pickle because now you have basically Spawn's backstory is essentially gone.
Yeah.
The character
You
that's
gotta
like such a
retcon it.
central part of his backstory. Yeah, you got to retcon it. So then, um, when the movie comes out, they can't use Chapel. So Todd's like, well, here's Jessica Priest.
Mm-hmm.
and now she's the Al Simmons' killer, at least in the movie. And then he introduced her in the comic books, and that was it from there.
I wonder who could have played Chapel in the 90s. Or when did that movie come out?
Like a 97, I think.
Yep, 97. So I'm looking at top actors from 97.
I'm not sure who could have played Chapel, but I'll give you this. The guy who voice acted Chapel in the animated series was very good.
Oh, very true. I would be a good choice. Oh, wait a minute. How
But
did
I
he look?
don't know what he looks like.
Let me see. I think this could have been a good option as Chapel. Oh, yeah. Ving Rhames would have been a great choice for Chapel. He would have had to be bald because Ving Rhames is bald.
Hmm.
But I think in the 90s, he would have been a good Chapel. He's big as hell. He's as big as a house. Chapel, as if people know, drawn by Liefeld, so he's big as a fucking house.
Of course.
There's a picture of him holding a gun like he's in the army, and it's like, yeah, I could throw that paint on him. That's Chapel. I could see it. Granted, like I said, he'd be bald, so he'd look a little different unless they added hair on him. But here, I just sent it to you there. I could see it. That'd be a good choice. I wonder if
could
they
see it
had
too,
someone
yeah.
in. I wonder if they had someone in mind before they changed it.
Yeah, I would imagine it would have been like a big enough actor because like the Spawn movie, they've got like some heavy hitters in that movie.
They
Of course, you
got a
got
lot of
Michael
heavy
Jai
hitters.
White, John Leguizamo,
Who's unrecognizable.
completely unrecognizable. He did great in that movie, honestly.
Yeah, I can't see here.
I'm trying to remember who played Jason Wynn in the movie.
What
'Cause
is?
he was a big actor too, from what I remember.
Okay, so I'm trying to see here. Oh, Ruben Santiago Hudson? Is that who played the one in the
I think in the
cartoon?
animated series,
Yeah.
that was Chapel's voice actor in the animated series. Yeah.
Let's see how he looks. Honestly, who played Spawn? He played a great Spawn, but he looked like he'd be a good Chapel too. Yeah, this voice actor doesn't look like Chapel at all.
I would imagine.
Yeah,
I
no.
think is he Puerto Rican?
I have no idea. He might be mixed. His last name's Santiago, so I have no
Sounds
idea.
Puerto Rican.
Let's see. Oh, father was Puerto Rican and his mother was African American. Yep.
Okay.
So he was. Look at that. Look at that. He was in Gargoyles. He played Gabriel. He played me for 3 episodes.
What a
Whoa,
great cartoon that was.
man.
But
Yeah, he was
they're
Chapel.
making Gargoyles comics now, right?
Dude, they're making a
Did I know that?
Gargoyles live action movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was announced recently. I was like,
That
what?
might be interesting.
My coworker told me, she was like, "Did you hear they're making a Gargoyles movie?" And I was like, "What? What?" I was like, "Why are you just coming over to tell me this?" How did you know I like gargoyles?
Oh, Gabe. So I'm backtracking here, but you mentioned you really would like to write for Superman.
Yeah.
Have you seen My Adventures with Superman?
I have not. So literally today I was at work and I Google on my phone like where to stream it. It's on Max, right?
I believe it is, but it's done by Adult Swim.
Cause I think like it's on Adult Swim and then they put it on somewhere like a day or two after. And I'm trying to figure out where because I want to watch it. I heard it's really good.
That's what I wanted to mention. I saw the first episode and I thought it was very good.
Man, that's what everyone's been saying. I'm like dying to watch it. I remember people were on the fence when they saw like the character designs, and I was cool with it. I thought it looked fine, but I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck!" And then everyone was like, "Yeah, this is great," and I was like, "God damn it! I need to watch this somewhere."
I'm cool with, Tomboy Lewis Lane. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, that's fine with me. It's cool.
Clark looks like how I would imagine a teenage Clark would.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially in that Suedo kind of anime style that they're going for.
Yeah, I agree. That I think the anime style I think really fits Superman. I don't know why, but it fits it really well. Dude, speaking of, I don't know what they're gonna have there, but I don't know why I'm bringing this up now all of a sudden. But I'm going to a Terrificon this weekend. So we're talking about all these series you love to write for. There's gonna be writers there for series that we already know.
Any big ones?
Here, let's pull it up. Do you mind if I go through it with you?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's hear comic book creator guest. I just thought it'd be a nice little leeway into that. So, the guest of honor is gonna be there, buddy. And I'm gonna be waiting in line to meet this man here. Legendary writer Chris Claremont will be there. He is the guest of honor.
Goodness. Wow.
He is there. If you guys like The Nail or Excalibur, Alan Davis is gonna be there.
Oh, I know Alan Davis. Okay.
Arthur Adams is gonna be there.
Wow. Arthur Adams.
Let's see here. Don Rosa, who drew a lot of Donald and Scrooge Duck. By the way, this is Arthur Adams' first convention appearance in Connecticut. Wow. Who else is going to be there?
Gotta take advantage of that.
Oh, shit. Dan Jurgens is going to be there.
Dan Jurgens?
Dan Jurgens is going to be there. Should I bring my Superman with me?
I would. I'd get that signed.
Garth Ennis is going to be there. So I'm definitely
Garth Ennis is going to be there.
I'm getting a signature from the boys. Phil Hester is going to be there. Ron Garney, who's the artist for Berserker.
Hey, bruv, you want me to get Steve Dillon to draw you a Punisher?
Also, an iconic artist, Daryl Banks. If you guys don't know who Daryl Banks is, he drew that. I believe he was the cover artist, if I'm correct. Let me double check here. I don't know if he was the inside of the book or the cover. It looks like he was the cover artist. Yes, it looks like he was the cover artist of the Green Lantern issue where he has all the rings on his hand. He looks all bugged out.
That's a great cover.
Yeah.
That is a great cover.
So he's going to be there. Steve McNiven, who drew a lot of like Marvel stuff in the early 2000s or early like 2010s. Things like Old Man Logan and stuff like that. When Guardians of the Galaxy series first kicked off, when the movies came out. And I believe he was also the artist in Civil War, it says. Oh, Rick Leonardi's going to be there, artist for Spider-Man 2099, which I just bought, dude. I got Spider-Man 2099 numbers 1 and 2 in the mail.
The original series?
Yes. Where are they? I got them. Where are they?
Because they brought back Spider-Man 2099 recently in a new series.
I have them somewhere. I don't remember where I put them. I think they're on my spin rack somewhere. I'll have to look after. But I got those in the mail. I was super happy about that. Jim Balent, who drew that Catwoman #1 cover from the 90s, where she's like hitting her whip and her butt cheeks are all out.
Yeah, I remember that cover. Yeah.
A lot of artists. David Finch is going to be there. Iconic. Oh. Me and Drew were gushing about David Finch because that is his favorite person to draw Wonder Woman. From New 52. Iconic New 52 artist. Jim Starlin, artist with Infinity Gauntlet. And
Jim Starlin.
Yep. Let's see. The artist for Dreadstar Returns, Jamie Jameson, is going to be there. I'm telling you, dude, it's stacked. A lot of people are going to be here. Ryan Otley, who worked for a bit on Invincible. Actually, I think, was he the main guy for Invincible? Ryan Otley.
Invincible is hard for me to remember because I just remember Kurtman. That's it.
Let's see. Yeah, no, he was the artist for Invincible. So, he's going to be there.
For most of the run?
It just says he's most known for working on Invincible and Spider-Man.
Okay.
And I believe he was the artist for that crossover they had with Spider-Man, which would make a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah, I remember that crossover.
So that is going to be very, very interesting. Let's see who else. Amanda Connor, who draws the modern-ish Harley Quinn stuff.
Amanda also drew... We'll segue into this later, but one of my favorite comics ever, The Pro.
Oh, well, guess who else is going to be there?
Her husband?
Jimmy Palmiotti is going to be there.
Yes.
He is also going to be
Jimmy
there.
Too.
So I am very... I have The Pro. I'm like, dude, am I just going to run in with like a stack of books getting all these signed?
And Garth Ennis is going to be there too.
And Garth Ennis,
signed by all three of them.
All three are going to be there. How cool would that be?
I would do it. I would absolutely do it.
That would be so sick, dude. Oh, man. Let's see. Anybody else a note? Bill Morrison, who did a lot of stuff for Simpsons comics. Yeah, so as you can see, there's going to be a lot of people there signing away. This is going to be a stat con. This is probably the biggest con in Connecticut. It's bigger than Connecticut, I would say. We get a lot of big names here for this. So
From that list of names, I gotta say, is pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive.
I'm trying to see if there's anyone like larger, but that's really it. But I think it's going to be a fun weekend. I'm going to be spending a lot of money getting these signatures, waiting in a lot of lines.
you remove Chris Claremont as the guest of honor. That's still an impressive lineup.
Like I forgot like how many people are gonna be there, and I'm just like, and dude, like I'm still scrolling through. There's so many people that are gonna be there. The guy who drew the artist for the Deceased books from DC and Marvel Zombies is gonna be there. Arthur Sudam, I think that's how his name is pronounced. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that right. But yeah, dude, this is a stat con. I'm real excited for this. So, yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked now that it just clicked that all three are gonna be there, and I'm like, fuck.
I'm jealous, man. I wish I was there.
All. See, like, my thing was like, all right, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get my issue 1 of X-Men signed by Claremont, and eventually my dream is to meet Jim Lee and get Jim to sign the number 1. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
And then I was like, but I also love issue 2, which is the one with Magneto doing the iconic pose with the fist towards the screen. You know what I mean? Like he has the hand open, and I'm like, that cover is just like so cool though. It's so iconic. It's on like a bunch of T-shirts. Like, I'm like, do I want to get that one signed though? Like, on that's my big conundrum is that like I need to figure out which one. Which one to get signed, because I'm only affording one. Alan Davis is going to be cool, but I don't have anything for Alan Davis to sign besides his recent Avengers War Across Time. He worked on that, but same thing with Arthur Adams. I have some classic X-Men, but it may just be cool just to walk by him and be like, oh shit, Arthur Adams. But definitely Ennis, definitely the whole crew from the Pro. That's going to be a must.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got a fair amount of like Ennis, Connor, and Palmiotti's work.
And the best part is like Garth Ennis, like you pay for his signature, which is like $20-something, $30, and I think if you buy the graphic novels, are like $35-$40. If you just get his signature, he lets you choose which book you want to sign. So he has like Preacher there, he has all the boys issues, and he'll be like, which one do you want? And you just pick it, he signs it, and that's all you pay for is the signature. So you get a book for cheap. You pay for the signature, but you get the book for free, and he signs it. So it's pretty cool.
Right,
you save
the book
money.
like at cost.
Yeah, and you get his signature with it, which I think is fucking awesome. So now I'm super stoked for this weekend. Also, there's wrestlers there, you know, like Danhausen and Wardlow and all those guys are gonna be there too. So don't know if I'm meeting them. Probably just gonna walk by and be like, oh shit, and then walk away. But I'm real excited for Rhode Island Comic-Con, though, and I'm going to that. And do you want to know why?
What's the reason?
It's got both Superman and Lex Luthor from Smallville there. They're both going to be there signing signatures, bro. And I'm super excited because you know I'm going to meet them. Those are my boys right there. And Lionel Luthor's going to be there, too. So you know I'm in there. Who else is going to be there? There's a ton, because it's like a Superman-themed like anniversary year, so every person that's been Superman is going to be there that's alive, besides Henry Cavill. But like the dude from Superman Returns is going to be there, the one from, he was also in like Flash and Arrow and all that.
Yeah, he was in Scott Pilgrim as well.
Yep. He was great in Scott Pilgrim. He's going to be there. The dude from Teen Wolf that's currently Superman and Superman and Lois, he's going to be there. Justine wants to meet him because that was like her crush when she watched Teen Wolf. That was her like celebrity crush. So she's dying to meet him. But dude, yeah, they're stacked. Oh man, the voice actor of Wolverine from the animated series is gonna be here. Fuck.
That feels so strange though that you're bringing in everyone who's played live action Superman, but you don't want to bring in Henry Cavill.
I wonder if it was not in the budget. That's what I could
Yeah,
think,
money.
because he's such a big name, and you're already bringing in all these other guys. So it's like, maybe, or maybe he was busy. Because who else they have at that con? I'm just pulling this up here. Here, I'll do this so you can see it as well as we discuss it for the listeners. Because
It could be that he was busy, but if I had to venture to guess, like out of everyone in that list, he would command the most money.
yeah, because who else they got there? The voice of Nightcrawler from the animated series.
That's
They got
cool.
the guy who plays Jar Jar. He's gonna be there. The voice of Storm is gonna be there.
Oh, wow.
One of the Ninja Turtles, freaking Barbara Eden's gonna be there. C-3PO is gonna be there. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Voice of Wolverine also gonna be at this. What? They got Carl Weathers going there? That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah, the voice of dude. They got every voice actor from X-Men the animated series and Gambit. Let's go.
They got the guy that played Robin Hood in the oh my god, Mel. What's his name? I already forgot it.
Wait, which one?
It was the guy in the Carrie.
The guy from Carrie Elwes.
The Princess Bride. Yeah. He was in the Princess Bride as well.
I know. It's
But
funny.
he played Robin Hood.
I saw him in Princess Bride, but then I know him mostly from Saw. He's the guy
'cause he was
that
in the
cuts his
first
leg
Saw
off.
movie.
Yeah, he's the guy that cuts.
Yeah.
Corey Taylor's gonna be there. What? Holy shit!
What?
Oh shit! The chick that plays Jean Grey in the movies is gonna be there.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! Damn, Rhode Island Comic Con stacked. Felicia Day, she knows my uncle. She played Yeah, my uncle was a part of her D&D crew.
That's sick.
Yeah, because he lived in California and then left and then came back. Now he lives back in California again. But when he
John
lived there,
DiMaggio.
wait, what? Oh shit, John
Bender.
DiMaggio. Oh, there he is, John Snyder. Oh my god, and Pa Ken's gonna be there. I gotta meet everyone from Smallville. Come on now, come on. The dude from Harry Potter's gonna be there.
Lou Ferrigno.
Oh shit, Lou Ferrigno's there. Wait, Lisa Rita from Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is gonna be there.
Oh
Yes!
my god.
I need a picture just to send to you guys. Ming-No Wen's gonna be there. There's Lex. Dude, okay, maybe they didn't have the money for Cavill. They got a lot of big names.
Go back up. Paula Abdul.
Holy shit! I didn't even notice her face. Paula Abdul's gonna be there.
Abdul. Holy shit.
Ron Perlman's gonna be there.
Wait, Rob Paulson?
Wait, where?
Go up. Rob Paulson.
Am I blind? Oh, Rob Paulson right there. I'm blind as hell. Holy shit! From Pinky and the Brain. There he is.
Whoa, you just
There
scrolled
he
past
is.
Ron Perlman.
No, I said yeah. What? Ron Perlman? Take a shot. Ron Perlman's gonna be there. Seth Green is gonna be there. Oh, from Blade! Stephen Dorff from Blade! Let's go!
Stephen Dorff.
Let's go! Triumph the Insult Comic Dog is gonna be there. Oh my god! Iconic from back in the day. Oh man, and Wayne Knight. Oh my god, Wayne Knight.
Oh, but Newman.
And there's a bunch to be announced. Who knows? Maybe Cavill will show up. Oh, Sam Raimi pulled out.
Oh.
Wait, what? They had Sam Raimi? What the fuck?
This is such a crazy lineup, man.
This is only an hour away from me. We're going to this for sure. Me and Justine. This is in, I think, November.
Wow, this is.
We're going to be at
This
Rhode
is so
Island
crazy.
Comic-Con. Rhode Island Comic-Con is huge. The only problem with it is that everyone's so spread out. You don't know where everyone is, and they're only there for a certain amount of time, so you got to, like, locate them all. Like, I was walking around, and I walked by what's-her-name from Clerks. You suck 37 dicks? What was her name? I walked right past her, and I was like, oh, shit, she's right at the desk. It was awesome. So, yeah. That being said, I'm going to have a lot of fun at a con this weekend that I'm super, super stoked about. But that brings me to the next question. Could we get excited about things here, Ajax? This last topic here. What are some obscure series that you're a fan of that get you real pumped and excited?
So I gotta mention my favorite obscure one-shot of all time, which is The Pro.
Mm-hmm.
I love
That
The
was on
Pro.
my list.
It's such a funny book.
Yep.
It's probably the funniest comic book I think I've ever read.
I love it. I think it's super underrated, and I think more people need to know about it. And I would love an animated version of that, but it would have to be like on a streaming service for sure.
It'd be great on Amazon.
It would be great on
That's what
Amazon.
I
It would thrive on that, or even like because who owns it? Is it Image?
I to be honest, I don't know who owns it between Gart and Amanda and Jimmy Palmiotti, truthfully.
Let's see.
But it was an image.
It was an Image book. Okay.
It was an image book.
Yeah, I wonder. So it's created by Garth and Jimmy Palmiotti. So I wonder if they have like joint ownership.
Maybe they do. Yeah.
And then Amanda was the penciler. So
Yeah.
and then Jimmy inked it. Man, such a good book. It's great. If you haven't checked out the Pro, you need to check it out. It is so good. Even if you could find it somewhere digitally, it's great. I had to get it through a third party seller. I was unfortunate. I got it after the cartoonist kayfabe video about it because it just really piqued my interest. And if anyone who watches cartoonist kayfabe knows that kayfabe effect kicked in, so by the time I was trying to get it, that shit was super high priced. But I got real lucky on Mercari. Someone was selling it for like $5, and I scooped it up. So it's great book. And there's different covers you can collect. There's multiple covers that all are very cool and super indicative of what's inside the book. It's not like you get a cover, you're like, oh yeah, that's definitely not what's gonna be in the book. No, it's it's crazy in that. Oh man, wait, they had a Pro action figure. What? Or did someone make this? No, this was real. It was a 12-inch figure of her. Holy shit. Amazing.
Gabe's like, I don't need it. I don't need it.
I don't need it. I don't. Hey, maybe with all of them being there, maybe some people will be cosplaying as the Pro.
That would be so funny.
Oh,
as far as series though, that one's tough because I don't know what really constitutes as like an obscure series.
Yeah, I would say maybe something that's not mainstream. That was my thing. I was trying to figure out like the definition of what obscure would be. And I was thinking something that not a lot of people talk about that no one really knows of. Not like a weird book, but just like something that's really good that it's like, how does no one talk about this? Like that's how, like, for example, like I'm currently reading Immortal Sergeant, and I think it's one of the best comics. It's so far they're like 8 issues deep, and they haven't taken a month off. It's been just 8 months of straight story, and I don't know how they pump. Or I don't know how they're pumping these out so quick. I don't know how many pages this guy's doing a day, but in order to do 8 issues in a row, but the story itself is great. It's so good. The art style, it's very unique. It looks like you're watching a cartoon the whole time, which I love. And I think they did say they were working on an animated version of it. So fingers crossed they are. But I would definitely recommend Immortal Sergeant for anyone who hasn't. It's like a detective story, but also like a comedy. So it's very, very funny. It's by Image. Another Image book, of course.
Of course.
Man, that's why I like Image. They let people just do shit. Like, if they want to do it, they just let them do it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I like how there's no huge overarching editorial process. You know, you are basically your own editor. So, like,
yeah,
if you fuck up on your book, that's on you. It's not the editor's fault. Because you made those decisions to put it in your book.
It's on you to see if it sinks or swims. Also, by the way, real quick, there's actually many articles saying that the Pro should be the next NSTV show being made after The Boys and Preacher. They're like, that should be next on the docket. And I'm like, I think it should be like an animated movie. I think it'd work a lot better as that.
Yeah, because there's not enough material there to make it a TV show.
Yeah.
But if you want to make it like an hour and a half animated movie, you can definitely do that.
Yeah. I mean, if they could find the budget to make it a live action, as long as it's written the same, maybe? I think it could work. Some of the shit that happened there, I feel like it's a little hard to do live action, but I'd be very intrigued to see them try. Especially the scene in her room where he causes a pain to split in half. That would be very interesting to see in live action how they would do that.
I would love to see that. I think it would work better as an animated film.
I agree with you very, very strongly about that.
I'd be okay. I just want to see it get adapted one way or another. I think it would be
Yeah, it
fun.
deserves more love. It deserves more love. I'm trying to think of another obscure series. I think one that I liked was one called Project Patron. I was a big fan of
Hmm.
that. Um, yeah, there's something about that. It was like a superhero that was controlled by regular people, like in a pod thing. They would like one guy was a muscle guy, one girl was smart, one guy was fast, one guy was like a technical guy. So whenever the situation needed, that specific person would go into the suit or into the pod to control this mechanical hero, but he looked real to everyone else. He was like a Superman. But like every time you went into the pod, it took years off your life.
Okay.
So yeah, it was very unique, very weird. I'm trying to think. I think it was Aftershock Comics, who made it. So very very obscure, I would say, but I think it was a lot of fun to read when it came out. I don't know if they're making any more issues or what, but I hope they do. I'm trying to think anything else. I think that's really it for me. For anything really obscure.
Because to me, so like obscure can mean a lot of things. So, um, for example, it could have been at one point mainstream, but because of time, it became obscure.
Yeah,
Or it's hard to find because it's out of print. I mentioned the Alan Moore run of Supreme a lot. I feel like it's kind of obscure now because it's really hard to find it in print.
yeah.
It's been out of print for a lot of years. It's really hard to uh, buy the full trade of the Alan Moore Supreme run. Much
Mm-hmm.
like it's really hard to buy the Alan Moore Wildcats run as well. It's really
Yes.
hard to track that.
I think you can only get those in like the collections.
I believe so. I think actually DC just released an omnibus of Wildcats, and the Alan Moore run is in it.
Oh, really?
I think I'm personally not a fan of omnibuses. I think they're too big. They're too
I just don't
awkward to
have the I don't
handle.
have the room for them.
Well, that too.
Yeah, or
But I just
the money.
it doesn't feel comfortable when you hold it and you read it. I just don't find it comfortable.
Yeah, I agree.
I prefer trays that are like 200, 300 pages.
Dude, I saw a it was a giant omnibus for Cyberforce. I was like, "What?" Like
Really?
a newly released Cyberforce omnibus. I'm like, "Okay." That's obscure. I was like, "Really? People are buying Cyberforce stuff in 2023?" Like, I mean, if they are, you know, good for them for nostalgia. My dad hopped on that Cyberforce trend for a little bit, but fell off in the beginning. He got it for that buyer hype. Wizard, they tricked my dad. They told him to buy
That and
a bunch of issues, and he did.
that and I think because Silvestri was just one of those guys that was hot at the time.
Yeah, everyone's picking up everything. Plus, this was like the hype of like everything with Image. Like anything that Image came out, everyone was buying because it was
I
just
will
so
give
new
him
at the
credit
time.
though. He did get a winner with the Darkness. I think the
Yes,
Darkness actually ended up being a good comic book series.
great series. Another thing I'd like to see adapt somehow.
I'm surprised it didn't. The two video games we got out of it were really good though.
We got games out of it. I don't even remember that.
Two, two of them.
What?
Yep, two of them.
Holy
And
shit, we did.
if I'm not
I used
mistaken,
to see these all the time. I didn't know it was based off the book.
yep. Yeah, if I'm
Oh,
not mistaken,
wow.
Garth Ennis wrote the script for the first game. I think he did.
Wow. I used to see these all the time. Damn, were they shit?
No, they were good.
They
They
were
were
good?
good games.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I was scared. I was
they
like, damn, were they bad?
they were good games, and now, because computers have come such a long way, you can emulate those games easily.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think this was what, PS3 and Xbox 360?
Yeah, so the first Darkness would have came out. The first Darkness game would have came out in '07. I think the
Yeah.
second one.
Yes, '07.
I think the second one would have come out in like 2011, 2012.
Correct, 2012. That was on PC as well. I wonder if you can get that on. Oh, it's on Steam right now. Right as I say
It's on
that,
Steam. Yeah,
you can get
I have it
Darkness
on
2 on
Steam.
Steam. Damn. I haven't played any of them. Maybe I should. Maybe I should track
I
down.
think it's
I feel like The Darkness is one of those games that I could find at like a retro game store that'll have a bunch.
oh, probably yeah, because it's a game that really flew under the radar.
Oh, Darkness 2 has 4-player co-op campaign? What? What?
Could possibly do a future video on that.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. Definitely got to check that out. I didn't know that was based off the books. I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together. That they were based off the books.
I think it's because it
maybe
felt
because
like
he
at
didn't
the
on the
time-
covers he didn't look like him. He didn't have like the shit like on the face with the armor. He didn't have it on the cover.
Yeah.
So I think
But
that's
I
what maybe
felt
threw
like
me off.
At the time, it felt like they weren't really advertising it as, hey, we base this off of a comic book.
Yeah.
If you like for me, like at the time, I was a very surface level comic book fan. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'd read maybe one comic book here and there, but my comic book consumption was like TV shows and movies. So like I
Yeah.
wasn't really familiar with the Darkness. So for me, unless you don't tell me it's based off of a comic book, I'm not gonna know, especially
Yeah.
at that time.
And I wonder if they did that on purpose. I wonder if they thought maybe if it wouldn't sell, if they said it was based off a comic book, maybe.
But see, that's what I find
Because
strange.
it was like
because-
07, so like it was
But
before like the hype of.
even in 07, The Darkness was a comic book that sold relatively well.
Yeah.
Even in 07.
Yeah. I mean, we look at Wizard; they're always top 10 selling book. When did The Darkness start? 90.
I want to say like
Six.
96.
96. Hey, who knows? In the Wizard we look at today, it might be in the list of top 10 comics. Who knows? It most likely will be.
It wouldn't
They
surprise me.
They love their top cow in that. So, actually, Ajax, I think it's time. It's time to. So, listen, what we're gonna review here is something that would be highly frowned upon in the year 2023 if an article like this came out, which there probably is still, but I think X wouldn't be too happy about it. We're looking at Wizard from July 1998. Got a cool pull-out cover here. Wait for it. Oh, yeah. It's got women on it. If you like girls, this is the issue for you.
What an advertisement. You like girls, and this is the magazine.
Do you like boobies? Well, we got the Wizard issue for you. Because this Wizard issue takes us back in time to the year 1998. I was, what is this, July? I was a year and a couple months old. So, Ajax, we're going to take a look here at Wizard ranks comics top 10 sexiest women. So, are you ready for this? And you will be, if you're able to find this online, feel free to look through it. I'm going to show Ajax the images. There are some compromising positions in this.
Which issue is it? For anyone who's listening?
July 1998, issue number 83.
Got it.
So, we're going to start off here. Number 10 is someone that I thought would be in the top 5 for this. Number 10 is Psylocke.
Really?
Yeah, that's someone I thought would have been, easy top 5, maybe even top 3, especially in the 90s. So, I was
I would
very
assume
shocked
so.
to see her here in top 10. Number 9, Rainmaker from Gen 13. She is the Native American one who's a lesbian in that. So that was an easy way for them to put her onto this list and mention that. They call her Pocahontas meets Chasing Amy. That's what they called her. Number 8, Mystique. Number 8 is Mystique. I'm showing Ajax here. We got Psylocke there, Rainmaker, and Mystique bending over on a bomb with a gun. Gotta give the people what they want.
I can definitely see Mystique because I remember watching the X-Men movies and thinking, man, Rebecca Romijn is so hot as Mystique. So yeah, I can buy that.
Now, number 7 is another person I thought would be top 3 on this list. Number 7 is Witchblade.
Yeah, that sounds like especially back then, that sounds like an easy top 3 because she's always, her costume barely covers anything.
Yeah. Actually, everyone, number 7, 6, and 4, their costumes are barely anything. As number 6 is Storm from the X-Men. Number 5 is She-Hulk. And the number 4 is Tigra. And talk about some compromising positions here. All right.
Holy shit.
We have Witchblade standing very calmly with her armor. Storm showing off stuff. Tigra just completely bent over.
Okay, so...
In She-Hulk, it's very cold outside.
Extremely. So Storm is popping her ass out.
Yes.
Tigra is on all fours, also popping her ass out.
Yes. So this is where I'm like, who is making this list? Because number 3, I only found out who it was because of this list.
Gabe, never mind who's making this list. Who is drawing these girls to like be popping their asses out like that?
I don't know. Let's see. Let's find out who the artist is. Art by Joseph Michael Linsner. Joseph,
if you're listening to this, and I know you aren't, you are one horny motherfucker, my friend.
And I fucking love you. All right, number 3. The top 3 is very... I mean, one of them, 2 of them I could see. But number 3, I only know who this person is because of this list. Number 3 is Dawn from Crypt of Dawn. That sounds like the writer handing a couple dollar bills over to sell a new book. That's what it sounds like.
It sounds like it, because I'm not familiar. Is this like a...
She is
It has to be an indie book, is it?
Let's look up. Crypt of Dawn.
That one really stumps me.
Crypt of Dawn from 1996. Oh, guess who the artist was for this book? Joseph Michael Linsner.
Oh my god.
It was his character. Dawn. It is just like, I don't know, she's just like a woman in a shirt. She's like
I guarantee you,
she looks like
he
an
made
angel.
the list.
She looks like a demon angel, kind of. He probably did. Does it say who worked on the list? So the list, it says it was by Wizard staff. I'm doing air quotes. I'm doing air quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, Crypt of Dawn, never heard of it in my life. Yeah. Number 2 is a solid number 2, I think, for any decade that you read this. Vampirella.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I agree. I would actually switch number 2 and number 1, actually, if this is how the list is going to be. Number 1, they have Catwoman as the number 1 sexiest woman of 1998. But it's Catwoman. They choose her the year. She's wearing a complete skin suit. There's Vampirella. There is Crypt of Dawn just looking like a woman going to work.
I mean, yeah, but she's also got, like, leather pants, so...
True. But look at Vampirella.
I'm looking.
Vampirella, who still has books being made to this day.
She does. She's also, very recently, I think it's being teased. It's being teased that Vampirella's gonna have a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Who knocked her up?
I don't remember.
I also want to point out, in this issue of Wizard, they are talking about Nicolas Cage being Superman.
Yeah, that was the rumor. That was the hot rumor back then.
Oh,
and there's
yeah.
even, if you look it up on YouTube, there is actually a video of Nicolas Cage in the Superman suit with Tim Burton in the background.
There is a cool thing here in the drawing. As an artist, I love the drawing ones. Teaches you how to draw Spawn.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I think is very cool. I'm looking through trying to find that the top 10 best-selling comics here. Here we go. Number 1, Witchblade. Number 2, Wolverine. Number 3, Spawn. 4, Batman. 5, The Darkness. We knew it was going to be on the list.
Of course. And the top 5, too.
6 is Deadpool. 7, Captain America. 8, Iron Man. 9, Preacher. And 10, Superman. So that was the top 10 books of 1998.
I'm very surprised. Well, for the month of July, right?
Yes, for the month of July.
For the month of July, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Iron Man is in there, because I'm not very familiar with 90s Iron Man at all.
Me neither. I've seen the art pieces of it because his suit looked really cool, but that's really it.
Yeah,
I've never read
yeah.
anything of that. I would love to see them do like a suit comparison between some heroes, to, like see who had like the best suit. But I don't know. Maybe we'll
Hmm.
find that. Maybe we'll find that in one of these issues down the line. But damn, there is some cool Todd McFarlane inks in this issue. Holy shit!
Very nice.
Just
Very
black
nice
and white
art.
inks of Spawn. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh man, well Ajax, that is the top. By the way, there's people on this cover that didn't even make it to the list. Supergirl's on this cover who wasn't on the list. Wonder Woman. Wait, the main chick from Gen 13 did not make the list. How did she not make the list in 1998?
Right. Yeah.
Sue Storm didn't make the list. Black Widow didn't make. Not Black Widow. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm an idiot. Anyways, Wanda Maximoff didn't make the list.
Oh, Scarlet Witch. Yeah.
Scarlet Witch. I don't know why I was blanking on that there. Thank you for saving me. I don't know why I was blanking on the name Scarlet Witch. I knew her shoot name. And not her gimmick name. But yeah, how did no one from Gen 13 make that list? That's weird. Actually, no, we had one. We had one. No, wait, no, we didn't. We only had the. Yeah, wait, no one from Gen 13 was on that list. That is very
Yeah,
odd.
the
for how
Native
popular-
American girl was on that list.
Oh,
from
you're
Gen
right.
13.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. You're right. Yes, Rainmaker. Is
Yep.
she better than the main one? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah. Wait, what is this?
It's
The Perfect Howard. Wait, what? This says Native American Sarah Rainmaker may be one of the more controversial women in mainstream comics due to her alternative lifestyle. And then it says, psst, she's a lesbian. But that doesn't stop this Gen 13er from being A, the perfect Howard Stern guest, and B, the kind of girlfriend every single male comic fan of the planet would trade his collection for. Yeah, even his X-Men books. Well, guess what? You just said she's a lesbian, so why would you sell your books for her? She doesn't want you.
I love that being gay was considered an alternative lifestyle.
Yeah.
As if being gay is like a choice that you make. That's not how it works.
And in 1990, it was still debated if Psylocke was Asian or not. Because it says here, she's Elizabeth Hurley with an all the high energy danger of a Jackie Chan movie. That seems kind of racist. That's about the best way to describe this purple-haired Asian. And then it says, or depending on how you look at it, European.
But that was always my understanding, is that Elizabeth, I already forgot her name. Fuck. As she is European, but she got the form of an Asian woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think she stole it or she got it, and ever since then, like she was Asian.
That makes sense.
But originally, she was a Caucasian European woman.
What I also find insane about this list here is that when did this come? Actually, I gotta see when this came up before I start talking shit. Let me see something really quick.
I love how I blank out on Psylocke's name and you blank out on Scarlet Witch's name. That's so great.
Okay, a new series of 1998 with characters. By the way, the series came out the month out. It was my first birthday. By Image, and I think it was IDW that had it first. I don't remember. I don't know. Might have been Image that had it first. I don't remember. But Danger Girl was out. How did no one from Danger Girl make it into this list? That was their whole catch. They were supposed to be the attractiveness of James Bond girls, but they are like James Bond.
Oh yeah, wasn't that oh my god. Who wrote that again?
This is by. Let me see here. Like the whole point of the thing was that they were supposed to be very attractive. How did none of them make the list? J. Scott Campbell.
J. Scott Campbell. Yeah, he used to work a lot with like Jim Lee, and I remember.
Yep. He was the writer for it. And I remember Danger Girl being. They had a video game. They were everywhere. The video game was,
kind of like a.
It was like a Tomb Raider game.
It was a big property for like a little bit.
But I'm saying like 1998, like it's brand new, hot off the presses, but no one from Danger Girl made the list. Like, okay. Very just shocking to me. I'm thinking
I'm
about.
very
I'm trying to have my perverted brain in the year 1998.
No, I'm mainly just thinking of like popularity. I'm surprised She-Hulk was on that
That
list
was
because
my thing. I'm very shocked. She-Hulk and Tigra, whatever.
yeah,
I was
because
like,
those are two names that you don't really associate with '90s comics per se.
did I just see, motherfucker? They're advertising Danger Girl. So it's not like they
Of
don't
course,
know. Danger Girl #3 was out. They're also hyping up Book of the Month, Justice League: The Nail, which I mentioned earlier. That's a cool little callback. Yeah, those She-Hulk, Dawn, and Tigra being on that list were very very odd to me. I don't think they should have been on that list.
and odd not in a like on a attractive sense, more so like on a popularity sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, Rogue? How's Rogue not on this? Oh. Oh. I'm disgusted, Wizard. If you were still in business, I'd write in a letter next month. And I wonder if people did. I wonder if people wrote in letters about that. I'm gonna look in August. Do I own August? Do I own issue number 84? I don't know if I do. If I do, I'm gonna see if anybody wrote any letters about this list, and I will report back to you to
You
see if
should
people
write
complained.
12 years from now, your last issue is going to be promoting Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern movie. I fucking hate you guys.
I tell them it's gonna be a huge success. Do it. So I do own issue 84. So I'm gonna look back. I have a spreadsheet of the issues that I own, so I can look at it when I need to. I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna see if people wrote about this after we finish recording. Because I need to know. I just need to know if people hated this list. Also, speaking of Wizard real quick, before we end this issue here, Ajax, I now own what became the second rarest issue of Wizard Magazine. I now own Wizard Magazine issue number 4, the issue that had the first ever appearance of Spawn. I now own
That's right.
it.
That's right.
I'm very proud to own it. It took a very long time to get it, and I spent way more than I should have on it, but it's okay.
I would imagine, because that's probably one of their like landmark issues in hindsight.
It's their first core 5 issues. I have issue 2 coming in the mail. I realized I have all these Wizard issues, but I only had issue 1, and then the next issue after that was 14. I had nothing in between that. So I was like, I gotta fill up the gap of those first, like at least the first 10 issues. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Because those are going to be some of the expensive ones to capture there. So I almost got the entire year of 1993 down. I'm getting very close. Anything after like 05, though, I do not own. And even then, like 05, I only own like 2 issues. Like once I started getting into the 2000s, they started focusing more on like movies and video games in the book. And it was
became
like
less about comic books and more about
like
let's
pop
turn
culture.
this magazine into a pop culture kind of all in one.
Yeah, which I like the comic book aspect of it, and I love like seeing like the art pages and all that. Like I have one where they just have pencil sketches of like Fathom sketches, and I'm just like, oh, Michael Turner sketches, like these are the best. Like the one of her coming out the water with the surfboard. And I'm like, oh, that's an iconic cover for Fathom. Like probably when you say the word Fathom, you think of that cover of her coming out the water with like the white shirt. Like, but it's the sketches before he inked it, and I was like, oh, orgasms. It was the greatest. It was the best. But Ajax, I think this is a time to put a bow on issue 5 here. It's been an hour and a half. Time flies when you're having fun.
It certainly does.
We are going to go over here. We're going to be looking at our one-shot we're doing. It's a shorter episode for people that don't know. That is going to be free for everyone to listen to. It's a little preview taste tester of what you get for the paid ones for $2. But if you're already listening to this, you're already paying the $2 to listen to us talk about comic books. But on our free issue, guess what we're going to be looking at, Ajax? Pulling it out here. We are going to be looking at this beautiful logo. Oh, it is what I own of DC and Marvel's amalgam universe. The short-lived stint of Marvel and DC's combined universe that started with their DC versus Marvel books, which I own all of them. We're going to be just talking about that era. I will say I have not read all of them, but this is going to be a good time just to have some discussions about that era of comic books and if that would work nowadays. We're gonna do a little bit of talking about that. Ajax, you excited to look at some amalgam?
Oh yeah, there's gonna be some shit. It's gotta be some real shit.
I have some interesting books here that that are very interesting. So some that are really cool, some that are like what. But look forward to that. We'll see you guys on the one shot. Besides that, me and Ajax will bid you adieu. You have a great rest of your time. Bye.